on Sags on Sunday on Talk Sport with Just Eat. This is Sags on Sunday with Just Eat. Order on the app. Football, food, living the dream.
Sunday exclusive on Talk Sport with Just Eat. Cheeky pad thai on its way. Food, living the dream.
Vauxhall Vivaro, for the van man driving to Derby, for the van woman delivering to Cardiff, for the van drivers of Great Britain. 4 years free servicing, 4 years warranty, 4 years roadside assistance, 4 years 0% APR. Vauxhall, British brand since 1903. Conditional sale, 4 years 0% APR, minimum 18% deposit plus VAT at 20% on total price. Financed by Vauxhall Finance, subject to status, 18 plus business users only. T's and C's, mileage limitations and exclusions apply. Search Vivaro offers.
Christmas is finally here, and holy backstops. 2018 has seen some people looking like real turkeys. Man United trying to win the league, Man City trying to win the Champions League, and Spurs trying to win anything. But fear not, Paddy Power's offers are so generous, there's no way you'll end up looking like a turkey this Christmas. Get money back as a free bet if Liverpool beat Man United. Paddy Power, enough of the nonsense. Applies to first bet on all losing goal scorer, correct score and what odds Paddy bets on the match. Max refund £10. T's and C's apply. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Finding your perfect new home can be tough. So if you keep missing out,
it's time to search out.
There are thousands of new properties to buy or rent every month at onthemarket.com. 24 hours or more before they're on Rightmove or Zoopla. See them first. Set up a property alert today.
Search onthemarket.com to find your perfect home.
If you're in the market, search onthemarket.com. See onthemarket.com/new and exclusive. Agents specify exclusivity. Okay, welcome back.
Some sunny spells.
Just Eat drivers come in. It's going to be a big night. We've got 20,000 family nights in. Lotus House are slammed on the spring rolls. Oh, and Sam from Flat 6 got a pay rise, so he's treating his mates to hot wings.
Copy that.
This is Just Eat, delivering for the nation. Order on the app today.
Christmas isn't just about football. There's some darts on as well. Darts? On the radio? Actually, it works. Christmas 2018 on Talk Sport.
1:30 kickoffs today at Brighton and Southampton. Let's get all the very latest odds with Barry Orr and Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talk Sport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Afternoon to you, Barry.
Hello, I'm Tom. And I'm Jamie. Together, we're Daddy and Dad. With Christmas just 9 days away, we're getting the house.
Grandma, this is ready!
I thought delivery on eBay was expensive, but we got this extra Simba hybrid mattress delivered free. Now, to get this bulky thing into Grandma's room. We also got new bowls delivered free, so everyone can pour on loads of veggie gravy. I have a feeling this might be Grandma's first experience of a veggie roast.
Pay for what you need, not delivery. If it's happening this Christmas, it's happening on eBay.
£75 if that comes in.
Brilliant. And let's move on to the big one later on in the day at Anfield. Liverpool against Manchester United.
Yeah, another odds-on chance. Liverpool 4-7, beat United who are 11-2, 16-5.
Are we right in the media to keep saying, but they haven't won anything yet? Because Jurgen Klopp said this week, if it's only ever about trophies and it's not all about progress and it's not necessarily all about the style of the football as well, then we might as well go home if the obsession is always totally on trophies. What's your view?
Well, I would say to that, what is the point of having a league table if it's not about winning it? What's the point of having a trophy at the end of the season if you're not about winning it? Progress is great, but the whole point of progress is that it leads somewhere, is it not? Now that's what you want to see. You don't keep progressing to come second every single... flicks and this, that and the other, and scoring overhead kicks every game. Brilliant. but that's not true to life. Winning is the most important thing, and that's what Liverpool and Tottenham both have to do in the near future.
There's a great cautionary paragraph here in the Liverpool programme for today from Jurgen Klopp, who, talking about Jose Mourinho, says, Klopp, I cannot think of another manager that would relish coming to face us today as much as Jose. It is without question we will face the most motivated opponent we will come up against all season, so for us, nothing short of our best will be enough.
Says it all. Go and have a cup of tea and get warm. And we'll speak to you a little bit later. 4 o'clock kick-off. Let's hear, before we talk to Danny and Connor, about the game itself. From the new Southampton manager, then ahead of his first home game, it's Arsenal St Mary's. Here's Ralph about the game itself.
It is exciting, and I enjoy it very much to go here in this stadium the first time in front of our crowd. It's an amazing atmosphere. We can give something back. We try to play with very much passion and also a very energetic way. Then I think the atmosphere will rise and help us to perform, and also when we're getting tired to stand against Arsenal, and that's what we need.
Let's go straight to James Burridge. It's a try at Welford Road. Not just one, Mark, 3. Leicester being torn in half here. 24 minutes gone. Racing 24 points to 6 up, and big question mark. Being made about the former champions here at Welford Road. And Conor McNamara, I've just seen a photograph. Clappers on the seats at St Mary's a la King Power. Or the clappers, yes. I thought you said Klopp. I was thinking Klopp is here.
I thought you said Klopp. I was thinking, what's he doing here?
Put the teeth in, Poogers, come on. It's so cold up here. I know. I'm like that fella the other day at the telly at Gloucester, his teeth fell out when he was watching the rugby.
You Southerners, Poogers, go north of Watford and you think it's cold. T-shirts on down here.
Hey, John Murray. Has got as many layers on as me, and he lives in the same place as you, Danny Mills. Yeah, cardboard clappers on the seats. Yes.
They've got the clappers. I mean, I have to say, they're making a big effort here. Ralph Hasenhüttl has sent out a free drinks voucher to every single one of Southampton's season ticket holders, redeemable today. He's hoping it'll lubricate a few throats, maybe warm up a few stomachs against the cold. He is trying to win hearts and minds, but ultimately he needs a performance on the pitch. This is his first home game. Disappointed to lose to Cardiff in his first game in charge of the club. That was away from home. This, though, is where he can set the tempo. And they're throwing the kitchen sink at it. Clappers, free drinks, whatever. Give the team the best chance. And, you know, against an Arsenal centre-half pairing of Lichtsteiner and Koscielny, you know, who knows? Maybe they can have a go at Arsenal today.
Can I just throw one in and I'll leave it with you? There's a suggestion they may play 3 at the back still, Arsenal, with Xhaka back there. That might be something they consider.
Yeah, well, at the moment, Xhaka is standing as if he's playing centre-half. Now, who knows? But in terms of standing in a deep position, Xhaka has dropped back. He's level with Lichtsteiner. Obviously, Koscielny's gone up.
He's going to play on the left of a 3 by the looks of it, Poogers. You're dead right.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. And Lichtsteiner at left back, presumably.
Monreal at left wing back. Lichtsteiner as the right of the 3. Bellerin as the other right wing back.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you're doing so well, Poogers, and then it's the cold. Blame the cold.
Story of my life. Right, all yours, boys. Speak to you at half time. Enjoy the game.
Thanks very much, Mark. Right then, here we go. Half 1 kick-off. 5 live for the BBC. First home game in charge for Ralph Hasenhüttl. And he has made changes, most notably Danny Ings. First game in over a month. Last played on the 11th of November against Watford. When Ings is in form, he can change games, he can win games, he can certainly score goals. And I remember commentating on this game last season for Match of the Day here, and Southampton scored after just 3 minutes. Charlie Austin scored. They held that lead right until the very end, and then Olivier Giroud, now at Chelsea, managed to nick an equaliser for Arsenal. We're about to get started. Stuart Armstrong, 26-year-old Scot, rolls the ball back from the halfway line to Maya Yoshida, one of the 2 changes in the team today. He pumps it long and high into the Arsenal half, and Lucas Torreira heads it out for the first throw into the game, left-hand side for Southampton. Matt Targett to take. Xhaka is playing left side of a 3-man central defence. So a little bit of tinkering by Unai Emery, who normally makes so many changes at half-time and early stages of the second half. Well, he's certainly shuffled things around. He must do, of course, with Sagradas and Mustafi. Both central defenders are both suspended today and unavailable. Here is Guendouzi inside the centre circle, tackled late, and that will be a free kick to Arsenal, and pretty much bang on the halfway line.
Southampton here at home today, first home match for the new manager, have to start well. They've got to come out, a lot of energy, get up against Arsenal, try and disrupt them as much as possible, not give too many fouls away. But if it needs that, if that's necessary at times, just to break up their slick passing moves, that's what they'll have to do.
0-0 on 5 Live. Armstrong comes forward, good searching, running off the left wing. Ings was ahead of him. He's chosen to give it to Targett on the left-hand side. Now high cross into the middle. Redmond can't get up off the ground, and the whistle is blown anyway, and that is a free kick out for Arsenal. But Southampton certainly looking inside the first 90 seconds here to start on a front foot and try to put Arsenal under pressure. So a reminder of the Arsenal team: Bernd Leno in goal, 3 central defenders, Stefan Lichtsteiner, Laurent Koscielny and Granit Xhaka, with Hector Bellerin on the right-hand side, Nacho Monreal on the left. In midfield it's Torreira and Guendouzi, with Mkhitaryan and Iwobi in support of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who along with Mo Salah is the joint top scorer in the Premier League this season. Leno with the short sleeves, purple goalkeeping outfit, rolls it out short to Lichtsteiner on the edge of the penalty area. Now Arsenal, their change strips with a turquoise teal as Aubameyang wins a header on the halfway line and nods it down. Yoshida clears away for Southampton and intercepted as Torreira does to win the ball back. And what a revelation he has been, the little Uruguayan in this Arsenal midfield, just winning the ball back on so many occasions in every game. Lichtsteiner up to the halfway line, short to Aubameyang. Out to Bellerin on the right-hand side. Arsenal playing from right to left as we look down. It's cloudy, but it has been a lovely morning here in the South Coast. Blue skies. Cloud has just come sweeping in off the sea. Still dry, not too windy. Guendouzi, though, is here, blustering in the breeze. And Mkhitaryan with the red boots takes it over and shuffles it to Monreal on the near touchline. Midway inside the Southampton half. Back to Granit Xhaka. He'll turn and roll into Laurent Koscielny, and good to see Laurent Koscielny back in the Premier League, a player who picked up that injury at the back end of last season. Of course, missed out the World Cup winning squad for the French. He would have been in that squad. The injuries kept him out of that and has kept him out of Premier League action until now into December. We wish him well and hope that this is a return to regular playing. He did play in the Europa League. That was his official comeback on Thursday. Last week he played for Arsenal's under-21s in a game against Portsmouth. And here he is back in the Premier League again as Yannick Vestergaard, the big tall Dane, controls possession into Romeo in midfield. And now Bednarek, the Polish defender, will feed it out to the near touchline, and Jan Valery. This is 5 Live for the BBC. 0-0 between Southampton and Arsenal. Liverpool, Man United to come later. Redmond into the Arsenal penalty area. Koscielny intercepts and clears the ball away. Danny Mills.
Southampton, they're going to take a few risks in the final third. Clearly at the moment confidence is very, very low. They haven't been scoring an abundance of goals. You can't be too precise at times. When you try and be too precise in the final third, you take that extra split second, that extra touch, and the opportunity is often gone. They've just got to gamble a little bit.
Southampton give it away in the midfield. Iwobi is fleet-footed, sets off to the left flank. Good recovery by Jan Valery, and that goes out for a throw into Arsenal attacking down the left-hand side. So Monreal will come forward. 9th appearance in the Premier League this season. For him, he played against Huddersfield last weekend. That's been his only Premier League appearance in 2 months. Kolasinac has been operating on the left-hand side of the Arsenal defence. This is Iwobi's cross into the middle, whips too high over everyone, and harmlessly goes out for a goal kick. So goal kick to Southampton, and their goalkeeper Alex McCarthy away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, game hasn't really burst into life as yet. We're still waiting for the first real attempt on target. Arsenal I mean, it's really interesting. We talked about it before the game started. This could be their best start to a season ever, but they still could be down in 5th place after this, depending on the Chelsea result over at Brighton. So, have they improved since Arsenal? I think they have. It's not dramatic in terms of places. It's been quite subtle. I think it's more the attitude and the energy, etc., that we've seen on the pitch.
Here's a great ball for Aubameyang into the penalty area, controls it well, saved I think by the face of the goalkeeper. Alex McCarthy denying Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. That's the best chance of the game so far. Long ball forward, 1 touch to control it, 1 touch to shoot, corner to Arsenal.
Fabulous ball from Guendouzi over the top. Aubameyang on the angle, running in behind, and a good first touch. He just needed it to come down a little bit quicker for him. He gets the shot away. But fortunately for Southampton and McCarthy, it's straight at him, hits his chest.
Granit Xhaka takes the corner, short run up. Vestergaard is well positioned to head it away. His header goes all the way to the centre circle where Guendouzi slips. So Steven Gerrard's type slip for the few seasons back in that game late in the season against Chelsea. He recovers and ensures that no Southampton player gets anywhere near it, but Arsenal retreat and go back to the goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. Here's the statistic for you. Arsenal have picked up more wins in the last 22 games than Southampton have in the last 22 months, which sums up the momentum of both teams at the moment. This is Højbjerg turning and rolling it back to Jan Bednarek, and in field of him is the Japanese player Maya Yoshida. Yoshida, who's only played 1 Premier League game this season before today, has become, he had only played 1 game up until November, then he's become a regular in the team in the week since then. Here comes Redmond, that's a good turn, now he'll advance into the Southampton half. Good run by Target outside him, into the penalty area comes Southampton. Excellent defending by Bellerin to get back and to get a touch, and that relieves the danger, and it'll be cleared away by Monreal up towards Aubameyang on the halfway line. What a great ball that is to Mkhitaryan, lightning fast counter-attack from Arsenal. Mkhitaryan bearing down the penalty area, shoots, and it's blocked away by Vestergaard. It's a good game this, it has started 100 miles an hour, 7 minutes played, Southampton nil Arsenal now.
But I think that's the real difference. Target got into a good position on the left-hand side, hesitated for a fraction, and then scuffed his cross a little bit, and it was easily cut out. Arsenal got up the other end on the counter-attack. Aubameyang with a nice little flick to set Mkhitaryan away, who in the end from 20-25 yards, he's, I'm going to shoot. I'm no bother if it gets blocked, if I miss. It's not a huge problem because we'll make other chances.
This is Koscielny, 10 yards outside his own penalty area, rolling it to Granit Xhaka, the white boots. And under pressure from Ings, he clears it up towards the halfway line. Iwobi tussles with Bednarek. Yoshida regains possession. And Southampton roll it back to the goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy, once again. So Southampton here who are trying to keep it tight, but already Arsenal exposing them with pace and trying to get in around the back. Aubameyang's had 1 really good chance. Mkhitaryan a good break. Now it's won back by who else but...
Who else but... Pause. Let's go.
Winter coat, suit trousers, shiny dark leather shoes, in contrast to Ralph Hasenhüttl, who is certainly of the tracksuit manager variety. He's got those, almost leggings. They're so tight, they're clung to his calves. Tracksuit bottoms on Hasenhüttl as he watches and raises his arm, hoping the flag will go up, and it does on the far side. And Southampton's offside trap is sprung, and Iwobi is cut offside in a free kick to the home side. Hasenhüttl, the Austrian, hoping to become the first Southampton manager to win his opening home Premier League fixture since Paul Sturrock, and that was 14 years ago. One of Mark Hughes' first games in charge of Southampton was against Arsenal, and they lost. Here is Ings, that's a good ball, back to Vestergaard. Southampton come over the halfway line. Matt Target on the left-hand side, just his 6th appearance of the Premier League this season. Vestergaard plays it forward. Ings will chase after this, but very alert is the Arsenal goalkeeper. Leno runs out of his penalty area, sweeper keeper, and clears it away. Long towards Aubameyang, wings the header, cushions it down for Mkhitaryan. Now Torreira gets it with the long sleeves and the gloves, and obviously feeling the cold temperatures here in December. Torreira plays it along the halfway line to the left-hand side to Granit Xhaka. Unai Emery points forward, and he wants Emery to get up into that space. He rolls it infield to young Guendouzi. Back into Torreira again, and Southampton bring everyone back behind the ball. Redmond's got a problem here, and very sportingly, Southampton hold up the play. He hadn't even gone down, Redmond. He was just looking uncomfortable, and Arsenal put it out for a throw so he can get some attention.
Yeah, didn't see what he did. Might have been something just off the ball. He's looked in a little bit of pain. This might be a problem. Now, he's been probably the liveliest player so far for Southampton. He just overstretches. I think that might be a groin. He goes to close down Granit Xhaka, and he stretches, doesn't quite do the splits. Whether he's tweaked a groin or an ankle or something, it doesn't look good for him.
So he'll go to the touchline, Nathan Redmond. We're going to see if he's going to come back on again. A couple of the substitutes going to warm up.
Well, it's that warm. Mkhitaryan's just taken off his thermal that he had underneath.
Yes. He's come to the side. He said, right, I'm warm now. I've had a few runs. And he's back in the short sleeves. It's not as cold as it was. I was at Manchester City yesterday. It was Baltic. This is, by contrast, a very warm.
I was top north yesterday, and it was freezing rain and all sorts. It was awful.
Top north. Here comes Xhaka down the left-hand side. Monreal has made a run, but it's easily cut out by Højbjerg. Back to Vestergaard. Southampton trying to keep it neat and tidy here, but such has been their recent results that they will be a bit wobbly. Also underway at the moment in the Premier League at Brighton. Brighton up against Chelsea. Chris Wise is at the Amex. How's it started, Chris?
Quietly, if truth be told. 13 minutes played. Brighton 0, Chelsea 0. One shot on target. A Chelsea effort. David Luiz. Typical flat free kick. Bit of movement on the ball. But like his fellow countryman in a slip cordon, the Australian Matt Ryan in the Brighton goal with safe hands. Brighton 0, Chelsea 0.
Thanks very much, Chris. We have a choice of listening from BBC Radio Sport this afternoon. If you prefer to listen to European Cup Rugby, you can tune to our sister station, 5 Live Sports Extra. Tigers are playing Racing at the moment. Let's go to Welford Road. The latest from James Burridge.
And Racing are flying here, Connor. 24 points to 11 up. 3 tries already in this opening half. A minute to go. Leicester just beginning to find a bit of form, show a few shapes. And the crowd for the first time are getting into it. I've hardly heard them all match, and that is because their team, Leicester Tigers, are getting an absolute pasting at the moment. 24-11 they trail.
And what about Celtic's pursuit of Kilmarnock at the top of the Scottish Premiership? Celtic away at Hibs today, 12:30 kickoff. Roddy Forsyth is there.
10 minutes into the second half, and Hibs still leads Celtic by a goal to 0. And that was scored by Slivka after only 46 seconds. Celtic have dominated, but never looked all that likely. Still 1-0.
Chance for Celtic. Southampton here. Redmond, who's fit again, back in the pitch, shoots, takes a deflection off a defender. Leno was scrambling for a moment, but it goes out for a corner. Corner to Southampton on the right-hand side. Danny Mills.
Redmond's been the liveliest player by far in this Southampton side, picking the ball up, running at people. He just needs to get a little bit of support around him. Danny Ings hardly been in the game so far, but you just feel at the moment the crowd's been a little bit flat. The crowd just need a chance or a challenge or something just to get them off their feet.
Stuart Armstrong is going to take the corner kick. He raises his right arm as a signal. Here it comes very high towards the back post. Headed one in the air by Monreal. Then Koscielny heads it away in front of Leno. Goalkeeper had come a long way there. He mustn't have given a very good shout because Koscielny headed it right in front of him. Doesn't really matter for Arsenal. I mean, Lichtsteiner has won it back again, and Arsenal will work their way out of trouble up to a Wobie. Tries to launch a counter-attack. Good defending by Target, and Southampton get it back again. Warm applause from the home supporters. This is Oriol Romeo, the one-time Chelsea player. Turns, rolls it back into his own half again. Yoshida to Vestergaard. Back to Yoshida again. And Southampton, who did play with a flat back 4 in Ralph Hasenhüttl's first game in charge away at Cardiff. They lost that game. And you can see he doesn't want to lose this one today. They've got the back 5 to start the game, and there's much instruction coming from the Austrian. He's pointing his fingers, he's shouting on the instructions down there below us in the technical area. Arsenal have it inside their own half. Laurent Koscielny rolls it out low to Stefan Lichtsteiner, the Swiss defender on the right-hand side.
He saw the look from the other player and saw where the pass was going and read it. Deeney. It's good work between these two. Rashford. He's got his shot off now. Keeper controls it, never looked like bouncing off him.
It made it look easy, but his positioning did that for him.
Simeone Verdi. El Shaarawy. Slip through. He's made the save.
Armstrong comes to try and close him down. It's an accurate ball up to the halfway line. Mkhitaryan's first touch a bit heavy though.
Not wanting to catch the corner, he's fisted it away from danger. Parolo. Well, he's had a go. He blocked it then.
Oh, fuck, man.
Corner's taken. Well, he's hit the man guarding the front post. It's a poor corner. Marco Parolo. Parolo. El Shaarawy. Shot on! Tried to steer it in, but it's past the post.
Yeah, all the good players put those kind of misses out of their mind and come back again and do better next time.
Tried to find his man, but he's only put the ball into touch. Niang.
Sorry.
Julian
Fucking football is doing some dumb shit.
Quick change of possession here. Good idea. Pass not executed with enough subtlety, really. The run was a good one.
Come on.
Off that pass, and now he's got the ball and a chance to create something. Marco Parolo, El Shaarawy, Mario Balotelli. Anticipated the direction of the pass and was able to intervene. Antonio Valencia, now Memphis Depay, working hard just to see maybe a sight of goal. Fellaini. Here's Lingard, could get a goal back here. And it's a corner now.
You prick for. Can you put the fucking thing on?
And in it goes. Well, that has cost them, but only a corner. Could have been worse. Well, it wasn't the best first season at Manchester United for Memphis Depay. Can do better. Doing better here.
He is. He's managed to carve out plenty of shooting opportunities. Really has tested the keeper and got himself a goal.
Commentary.
In goes the corner. Well, the player's broken down now. Referee had a good look at that, decided it's just a throw after the tackle. Julian Draxler. Good work, really, to read the intention of the pass. Valencia. In powerfully there. Getting the ball back and thinking attack straight away. Mario Balotelli. Quick-witted and quick in his movement too to intercept there.
There will be a minimum of
3 minutes from the referee by the fourth official. That's the decision regarding added time. This could lead to a chance. It's good attacking play. Depay. Back with Lingard. Fellaini. And shoots! Good work by the goalkeeper.
Oh, you fucking prick. Just play the fucking thing.
And the referee is blown for half-time.
Try to pull up on that.
Well, the player that we're featuring here has done well. He's certainly been an influence on this first half.
I would be happy with that first 45 minutes. It was a good goal from him. Good overall performance, actually.
Honestly. Whatever.
to Hazard, who's drifted over more to this left channel now, and then...
Oh, we don't win that game, do we? Dumb fucks. Crap. Okay.
Won lot of the ball for Chelsea since they scored that opening goal through Pedro. That, by the way, Connor, his 6th goal of the season. He only got 4 in the last campaign, Pedro, so it's turning to be already a very, very effective campaign for him. Brighton 0, Chelsea 1.
That's Chris, midway through the first half here at St Mary's. Southampton.
Back in, the striker there to get the ball in midfield. Giving the ball away now. Marco Parolo. That's his game, isn't it? Intercepting. Defender did well to get to it, but hasn't really finished the job. It's a very good interception.
And now it's picked up by Valerie on the right-hand side. Arsenal are scattered at the moment. This is Bednarek, short to Romeo. Away from Mkhitaryan, and he picks out Redmond just outside the penalty area. Redmond slips a little bit. Guendouzi's able to nip in. Redmond fights for it again, but fouls Guendouzi. Just to describe what happened there, the goalkeeper, Leno, rolled the ball out to one of his central defenders, Xhaka, who's playing centre-half today. And Xhaka just casually turns, immediately Redmond hounding in at him, and won the ball back for Southampton. That, for me, sums up the spirit of the Saints in this game so far.
It's amazing at times what just one goal can do for your confidence. Suddenly now, Southampton they're prepared to gamble. Not throw caution to him, but in that final thing, yeah, let's go and close down. Let's go and try and win that ball. Let's get there. We've just seen the manager again. He ran down the touch. It's 2 or 3 fist pumps and then went, oh!
On the attack here. A lot of defense. And now the shot!
Come on, man. This Wi-Fi is poor.
Quick, stop that. Oh, go back to the bench. No, everyone calm down a little bit. Quite comical, really.
He literally told himself to calm down there, which is quite amusing. Well, Southampton fans will be giddy if they can hold on to this lead. Remember that stat, though, from before, that Arsenal, they don't start to play, really, until the second half of Premier League games this season. Arsenal haven't led at half-time in the league, and yet they've, of course, won so many games. Let's go back to that Hibs-Celtic game. Ronnie Forsyth.
Well, we've just seen Odsonne Edouard, the Celtic striker, booked for one of the most blatant dives you'll see. He was made contact with by Porteous, and then he went down like a swatted butterfly several stages and got the yellow card. And still Hibs 2, Celtic 0.
Thanks very much.
Who swats butterflies?
Yeah, Roddy, explain yourself.
Well, it's just the idea that he went down in stages. You can do that with a bee and it'll just go zonk.
Yes.
But there's a real image there if you think about it.
I'm calling the RSPCA, Roddy.
What have butterflies ever done in the Forsyth? Thanks, Roddy. Back to you later. Monreal with a throw-in on the left-hand side for Arsenal. Gives it back to Xhaka. Arsenal need to up their game a little bit here. They've been sluggish. 2 central defenders suspended hasn't helped matters. But Danny Ings' goal separates the team. Højbjerg wins it off to Rare. That just sums up the tigerish attitude of Southampton in the midfield. So far in this game, and there's a long way to go, but so far, Southampton wanted more. Here's Danny Ings, scoops the ball over the top. That's brilliant. Valerie gets to the byline on the right-hand side. Now, who's in the middle? Armstrong's in there. Redmond is short. Valerie tries to dribble his way into the box. He's done well. Lays it off now to Redmond. Crossing position on the right-hand side. Arsenal got 10 men back behind the ball. It's played over to Target on the far side. Back into the midfield again. Højbjerg lobs one forward. That was intended for Valerie, and it's too close to the goalkeeper. Bernd Leno gathers it, but more applause of enthusiasm from the Southampton fans. They like what they are seeing here. Their team leading 1-0.
Well, just over 25 minutes gone. New manager's first home game.
And I think, everybody wanted that. We talked about it beforehand. The result, yes, is very, very important, but most importantly, they needed a performance, a good attitude today. Working hard, showing that bounce effect. And I think up until now, they've definitely got that.
That's the voice of Danny Mills, former England defender, watching this game with us here on 5 Live Sport. Lucas Torreira, who's had such an impressive start to his Premier League career, turns 10 yards inside the Arsenal half. He's got to inspire his teammates to step up a few gears here now, as Xhaka on the halfway line turns, rolls it back to Koscielny again.
Just interesting now, just looking down at Unai Emery. He's down talking with his assistant. They've been deep in conversation now for 2 or 3 minutes. Just chatting away together. And you can tell the odd finger pointing gesture. Already you can tell he's thinking, how can I change this? How can I do things differently to get back in this game?
It's a scandalous chat because the assistant has to cover his mouth when he says what he's saying. So clearly it's proper gossip down there. This is Guendouzi onto Xhaka, midway inside the Southampton half. Redmond's working so hard down there. Guendouzi onto Iwobi. And Iwobi's forced to turn again, back to Xhaka, back to the halfway line where it all started with Torreira once again. Southampton 1, Arsenal 0. The goal came the 20th minute. Brilliant header from Danny Ings. Even better cross from that target to set it up. I mean, he couldn't have hit that cross any better. Torreira rolls it back again to Koscielny. Arsenal trying to be patient here, but they're really not getting anywhere. This is Iwobi. Tries to cut away from Bednarek. That's a good ball if Monreal can get there. Excellent from Iwobi. Monreal from the byline cuts it back. Mkhitaryan's header, equaliser. Well, from nothing against the run of play, Arsenal get it back to 1-1. Henrik Mkhitaryan with a pinpoint header. He didn't just hit it goal bound, he pointed that right into the bottom corner. Alex McCarthy scrambled but couldn't get there, and that was set up by Iwobi down the left hand side. Really good play for Arsenal, and finally they have clicked into life. It has taken them 28 minutes to do so. It's a good game this. Southampton 1, Arsenal 1.
Well, Mkhitaryan, not known for his heading ability at times. Iwobi did incredibly well down the left-hand side. I thought he'd overhit it to start with, but the ball then died very, very quickly. Monreal was able to catch it, and I tell you what, this is a fabulous cross. Just before he gets there, he looks up and he cuts it back to about 10 yards out. Henrik Mkhitaryan is coming onto it. Headers it down into the far corner. Goalkeeper, no real chance with that. A really good goal. But that's Iwobi. His drive, his desire down the left-hand side. And a fabulous ball from Monreal, who picked out Mkhitaryan. He looked up and cut it back towards the penalty spot, and a great header.
Third goal this season for Henrik Mkhitaryan. He scored against Wolves in November. He scored against Chelsea in August. He has scored a very good header here today, and Arsenal needed that because Southampton were doing very well in the game. Here come Arsenal again. Bellerin down the right hand side, whips in a low cross, and that's going to be cleared away and out for an Arsenal throw. They'll remain on the attack.
Julian Draxler, Mario Balotelli, Niang, here's Depay. 90 minutes have been played, the score's level.
Wanker.
Time now to try and determine a winner.
Seriously.
Extra time coming up.
Arsenal, who were almost playing rope-a-dope, they were absorbing all the punches. Now they're beginning to come forward. And that, as you said a moment ago, Danny, goals change everything. That goal is going to give new confidence to us.
Good place to win the ball here. Incisive pass. Superb save.
Dickhead. Just fucking... What the fuck? See, my internet connection is so shit.
Played into the middle.
This guy.
Live coverage, that's from 7:15 here on 5 Live. You can also watch that, of course, on BBC television this evening. Half an hour.
Different format this year, I think, is it?
I believe so, yes. That has been mentioned.
We don't know the nominations yet, do we?
You know more about this than me, I feel, Danny. But yes, you can watch tonight and find out. I don't know the answer.
Well, no, I think normally there's all the...
You know in advance, don't you?
Yes, who the nominations are going to be, and there's obviously a lot of conjecture about who should be and who shouldn't be in. I think tonight it's all done on the night, isn't it?
Right.
Which makes it a little bit more exciting.
Excellent, excellent. Well, in this social media age...
A little bit more strictly, I think. A little bit more glitz and glamour.
Indeed. So, spotty later on this evening, 7:15, it starts on 5 Live, that's after 6:06. Here is Xhaka. Did you watch Strictly last night, Danny? Is that your kind of thing?
I didn't, no, sorry.
No.
I was busy prepping for this game.
No. Leno clears the ball away up towards the halfway line. Iwobi controls, but Bednarek gets there ahead of him. Torreira jumps and wins it back. And on the deck from Xhaka to Monreal. Still, Southampton are trying to keep up this high work rate, and they force Arsenal back. Xhaka turns and rolls it back to Leno once again. Here is Laurent Koscielny. He was the nearest defender to Danny Ings when Ings scored the goal. Probably would have dealt with it differently if he could do it again, but we have to expect a bit of rustiness for a player making his first Premier League appearance of the season after injury. Here is Aubameyang. Arsenal took a free kick quickly. Southampton fans thought they took it from the wrong position. Referee was happy for play to continue. And Bednarek quickly wins it back again anyway. And Southampton have possession once more.
Can also be the confusion sometimes, Connor, when you switch to a back three. Xhaka's not really used to playing there. Koscielny, as you said, hasn't played an awful lot of football. And they're only playing up against one centre forward. And you get this feeling of false sense of security, thinking, well, there's 3 of us. There's only one centre forward.
Oh,
we don't need to mark him that closely. And what happens is nobody ends up marking him, but he ends up free in between the two and scores a fabulous header.
Right, news.
Yeah, no, it's my wife's stream.
Corner from Lucas. Cleared away, well away from goal. Got another half of extra time to
I can't link it. I'm just got it on radio.
It's coming to us of another goal of the Amex.
My Wi-Fi is just going on boogie. Come on, son.
So here we are getting ready for the second period of extra time. Good strong tackle. That's a good block. Thiago Silva. Simone Verdi. Now Memphis Depay. Marola. Rashford. Fellaini. Now Marcus Rashford. Well, now they've got the ball, what are they going to do with it?
Boogie.
And that will be a free kick. Simone Verdi trying to switch on the attacking power in this situation.
The big teams that everyone is talking about in Europe at the moment. Racing leading by 24 points to 11.
Thanks, James. Commentary of that game right now on 5 Live Sports Extra. Later on, Newcastle against Edinburgh, 3:15 start. That's also on Sports Extra this afternoon. Xhaka under pressure on the edge of his own penalty area, rolls it back to Leno. Danny Ings goes chasing in. Leno's going to try and dribble it away. Gives it to Lichtsteiner. That's brilliant pressing from Southampton. You have to say they forced the ball out for a throw-in, and that is through sheer persistence. Ings ran all the way. Armstrong came to help him.
Why is this
it
game
was Bambi and ice on the Arsenal defenders. They couldn't get that away quickly enough.
It was a great touch from Leno. He had a big touch out of his feet, and I thought he's just going to launch this up the pitch. But he absolutely fired a rocket in at Lichtsteiner. Very, very difficult for him to control. And then Southampton closing down, and Arsenal maybe a little bit fortunate. However much you want to play out from the back, sometimes you've got to do the right thing and go long. Saw it yesterday. Everton try to play out from the back in the wrong areas against Manchester City and end up conceding the goal. However much your manager says play out from the back, play out from the back, sometimes you have to be professional. Just do the right thing, put your foot through it, get up the other end of the pitch. Not every time, but occasions like that when you're under pressure.
Danny Ings is slow back to his feet. I don't think it's anything serious, though. I think he's winded as much as anything else.
Come on.
In possession with the Southampton goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy. 1-1 here.
A fucking free kick.
Game in charge for Ralph Hasenhüttl. He's got to be pleased so far. Okay, they have conceded a goal. They've relinquished their lead, but it was very well taken by Arsenal. Otherwise, Southampton have done very well in the game. Long clearance by Vestergaard. It's picked up by Laurent Koscielny on his first Premier League appearance of the season. And this time there's no press from Southampton. They allow Koscielny to come out slowly. Gives it to Lichtsteiner. Back into Koscielny once again. Head up all the time, looking to see if there's a long ball to be played. Gives it short to Lichtsteiner. Now Lichtsteiner goes long. Yoshida's got a head start on Aubameyang here. Gets into it ahead of the edge of the penalty area. And the Japanese defender hooks it away. Guendouzi with a downward stooping header. And Arsenal hold on to possession. Koscielny across to Xhaka, Unai Emery.
Nah, that's bullshit.
Asking Iwobi to come short here for Xhaka, and he does so and returns the ball again to Xhaka, and also give it back to the central defenders once again. 1-1 it.
Saved by the keeper. It's time to step up. Low into the corner.
Oh, how's that for confidence? Beautifully struck.
Remains. Approaching half-time will be with Mark Pugac at Anfield over the break, building up to Liverpool against Manchester United. Big commentary today on 5 Live. That's from 4 o'clock. Mkhitaryan here on to Bellerin, back to Mkhitaryan. Now infield towards Torreira. Good work by Højbjerg to win it back to for Southampton. And then it's played by Target off the shins of Mkhitaryan. Southampton fans thought that should be a Southampton throw, but it must have come off Armstrong again, because it's going to be an Arsenal throw bang on the halfway line. Game just for the first time, Danny, going into a bit of a lull, because it's been played at a very high pace up until now.
Yeah, I think that's to be expected. You start to get to half-time and no one wants to give away a goal just before half-time. Arsenal grateful for getting back into it with a fantastic move. Interesting that both goals have come from incredible crosses. Very, very good for both different reasons. And also headers. You don't see that too often these days, do you? Crosses.
Come on, son!
Retro football. Here comes Armstrong, 15 yards into the Arsenal half. Out to Target, who's playing like a left winger. Back to Armstrong here, level with the edge of the penalty area. Left-hand side of Southampton come forward. Target still available. Aubameyang is back helping out the defence for Arsenal. And he's made the tackle. Ball goes out of play, and that will be a throw into Southampton. They'll remain on the attack on the left-hand side. It's taken quickly. Back to Vestergaard, into the midfield to Romeo. Now forward from Yoshida to Redmond. Redmond skips away from Granit Xhaka, tries to play it in front of Valerie, but good positioning by Monreal, and he wins it back for Arsenal, who look to play their way out of trouble once again. Granit Xhaka's terrible pass from Granit Xhaka. It's not been an overwhelming success. Xhaka at centre half, I think it's fair to say. Here is Højbjerg, 10 yards outside the penalty area, rolls it to his right-hand side to Redmond. And this is a crossing position for Southampton on the right. He gives it low, infield to Romeo. Plays a 1-2 with Armstrong. Back to Armstrong again. Now in the D. Left-footed shot from Armstrong. Took a deflection. That took the sting out of it. And Leno's able to dive down to his left-hand side and make a comfortable save.
Yeah, it wasn't a clean hit in the first place either. It was a little bit scuffy. Little bit of a deflection. Just takes the, well, any pace out of the ball at all. It's difficult for Granit Xhaka. I do have a little bit of sympathy for him. He's used to playing further forward, where you're expected to be a little bit more creative, take 1 or 2 more risks. When you drop back into that centre half position, you have to play a little bit more simply. And if you're not used to doing that, I know he's played left back at times this season. I think he's played in this position once or twice at the most. But it's a different mentality.
Hang on, here comes Aubameyang. Yoshida with good acceleration to get there ahead of him. Drifts over to the right full-back position and clears away.
And that's why when you see sort of these utility players, the likes of Ashley Young, who plays right wing 1 minute, left back the next, then right back, then left midfield, all over the shop, it's very, very difficult to do that to such a high level week in, week out. Because it's all about those little habits that you pick up, and those habits become automatic.
It's the voice of Danny Mills watching this game of this year on 5 Live. 5 minutes to go to the break. 1-1 at St Mary's between Southampton and Arsenal. Arsenal have had to come from behind here against a Southampton team who were looking for their first win in 13 Premier League games. Vestergaard gives it out to Target, back in field to Armstrong. He's having a good first half here, and he's fouled by Mkhitaryan. Free kick to Southampton just inside the Arsenal half. In their entire history of the club, Southampton have only had 2 longer runs without a win in top-flight football. 1969, 1989, they went 17 games, 20 games without a win in the top flight.
Come on, Connor, you know football didn't exist then.
Indeed. That's one of those rare...
Football's only 25 years old.
That's one of those rare non-Premier League era stats. This is controlled by Højbjerg. Tries to hook it into the penalty area, looking for Redmond. Headed away by Koscielny. Armstrong, that's an excellent ball. Out to Valerie. Crossing position on the right-hand side. 2 in the box. Valerie wants to dribble in himself. Taking on Monreal. Monreal challenges him and puts it out for a corner. Why didn't he just put it across there, Danny Mills?
And that's what I'm talking about. He gets lucky in the end. He's got 3 or 4 yards of space in front of him. Just whip the ball in, get the ball out of your feet, drive it across that 6-yard box, waist height, whatever, makes it incredibly difficult for the defenders. In the end, he's not really a dribbler, he's not a tricky, skillful player.
But he's raw, isn't he? I mean, he's a teenager.
He runs into the defender, and he's fortunate to get a corner. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes take that gamble, just whip the ball across.
Corner is taken short to Redmond. Here he is on his left boot. Can he wrap his leg around it? He got the shot in, but it propelled away off Iwobi. And then the target tried to send it back in. It's a disappointing ball. Chance of a counter-attack for Arsenal. Southampton had committed players forward for the corner. Here comes Aubameyang. Iwobi outside him to the left-hand side, into the penalty area now. Valerie's the last defender. He's done well. Makes the block against Iwobi. Arsenal are held up, and now Southampton get their full complement of defenders back behind the ball. This is Guendouzi. Rolls it low across to Lichtsteiner. Arsenal pushing forward now, late stages in the first half. Couple of minutes of normal time to go. Bellerin. Right-hand side, level with the edge of the Southampton penalty area. Arsenal wear the change strip, the turquoise sort of teal colour. Inside the centre circle here is Granit Xhaka, playing as one of 3 Arsenal central defenders today. Monreal gives it back to Xhaka once again, and Southampton have successfully forced Arsenal to retreat back towards the edge of their own penalty area once again.
I think the worry for Southampton is that Arsenal seem to have played a little bit within themselves at the moment. They've not been at their sparkling best, that's for sure.
Well, they don't, do they? In the first half this season, they don't do that. Here's a cross. Aubameyang trying to get on the end of it. McCarthy comes out and makes the save.
And that's what I was going to add on to the end of it, Connor. Yeah. You know, Emery will make changes, tactical or personnel, at half-time. You know, he will get stuck into them, and they will come out better in the second half, and that is the only concern for Southampton.
Exactly. As well as Southampton are playing, all likelihood is Arsenal are going to improve as the game goes on, so will Southampton be able to match them? Here is Redmond, floats it in, looking for Ings again, gets the header again. Oh my word, he's done it again! Danny Ings, 2 headers. Southampton back in front before the break. If Arsenal are going to get stronger as the game goes on, well, they're going to have to come from behind. What a fantastic header that is. The flight of the ball was unusual. I don't know if it took a deflection or it's just a perfectly weighted lobbed header.
Everybody stopped.
Yeah.
Everybody stopped and thought this was going wide or over. Players turned away, and even I did for half a second. I thought, there's no way this is going in. It's a long flighted ball to the back post. Danny Ings heads it, and no one really expects it to go in. It's Redmond's ball straight into the box, and it gets moved up.
Poor Arsenal.
Leno doesn't even move. He's got... Well, I think
Leno thinks it's going wide or over. Leno does not think that's going in. He doesn't flinch.
He wouldn't have got there had he tried. It floats right into the top corner. Unbelievable header. Danny Ings, 3-headed goals in the first half. Fabulous. But Arsenal have a problem. I've seen one of their subs be sent out to warm up. Emery just before that was concerned about something. There's a little bit of activity down on the bench. Maybe I think it might be Hector Bellerin that might be struggling. But yeah, definitely a problem for Arsenal. But it's a strange goal. When you see this on Matchday 2 this evening, BBC 2, it's really weird because no one's thinking, oh, what a great header, that's going in. He heads it. It seems to take forever and just loop and lob into the top corner.
Yeah. He just places it into the top corner. I mean, it's brilliant from Danny Ings. Absolutely, you don't see many headers like that. 2 goals for Ings in the first half. Southampton lead 2-1, and 2 minutes are being added on here for stoppages. The problem for Bellerin is serious because they're not even going to give it the minute here till half-time. They are going to make the change right now. Now, we've spoken about it all afternoon, how incisive and how assertive that Unai Emery is with substitutions, well, it looks like he's thinking of bringing on a striker here. Now, Nketiah is down there, so too is Maitland-Niles.
No, I think they might wait.
They're going to wait, yeah, because they were about to make the change, and now they're saying, hang on a minute, let's see. Which to me, that makes sense. It's only it's about to be half time. Let's see if Bellerin can recover. 2-1 to Southampton. Here is Torreira trying to dribble his way out of the penalty area. Caught by Ings. Ings has hurt himself in doing so. Tell you, no, I haven't seen an atmosphere like this at St Mary's in a long, long time. There's a new belief. The new manager, he's having that effect.
And that's what you need. You need the new managers come in. You then need the players to react to that. The fans react off the back of that. And you get that snowball effect. They've got to keep it going. I expect Arsenal to come out and be better in the second half. But, I mean, all these headers at Southampton, it's like watching Alan Shearer back here, isn't it?
Indeed. You know, all this talk of Liverpool, Manchester United, I think we've grabbed the game of the day here, Danny Mills. It'll do well to be better than this at Anfield. Southampton 1-0. Arsenal back to 1-1. Southampton 2-1 again before half-time.
Here's one for the Twitter sphere. Last time a Premier League game, every single goal was scored with a head above 3 goals.
Great shout. Very
above
good
3 goals,
above
not
3
just a single one.
Here comes Aubameyang trying to get into the Southampton penalty. Target makes a very good save, and then he's fouled by Mkhitaryan following up. Really good from Matt Target. But yeah, that is a good question. When is the last time?
There you go, Twitter people.
Yeah. 3 or more goals.
All with the head.
All with the head, of which we've had 2 from Ings and 1 from Mkhitaryan here. 3 very good goals. Denny mentioned Match of the Day 2 on BBC 2 tonight. Alan Shearer and Stephen Warnock joining. I presume it's Chappers. It usually would be in the chair. This is a spotty tonight. That's Match of the Day 2 later on this evening on BBC television. Here on 5 Live, Unai Emery is up against it a little bit here against Southampton team who've got a renewed belief, a renewed conviction. The referee blows the whistle for half-time. So, Danny Ings, excellent header to start it. Mkhitaryan, excellent header to level it up again. And Ings got his second with probably the pick of the bunch. Superb header to the top corner. Southampton lead 2-1. And Southampton fans, the season ticket holders, for whom Hasenhüttl has given this beer voucher, go and get yourself a beer on me. They are now going to queue up for the kiosks and very much enjoy it, I feel, Mark Bougat. Southampton 2, Arsenal 1.
A game of headers at St Mary's and Ralph Hasenhüttl having an immediate impact on the South Coast. Back to Connor and Danny for the second half with Southampton 2-1 in front. Let's go along the coast to Brighton, where the away team, by contrast, having it all their own way, Chris Wise.
Yes, I think Brighton might require a slightly stiffer drink. Half-time, Brighton 0, Chelsea 2. It's been a really composed, authoritative display from the visitors. Their movement, their pace of play, it's a notch above really what Brighton can deal with so far. Pedro got the first, made by Hazard, wriggled into the penalty area. I think Brighton were anticipating a shot. Hazard with a square pass, Pedro unattended, tapped in, and then Hazard scored the second. But after a Brighton error, Balogun giving the ball away, a pass straight to Willian, immediately threaded through for Hazard. He was too quick for the retreating dunk, and then stroked it home with supreme confidence. 9 goals for Eden Hazard this season, 9 assists as well. He's having a fantastic campaign, and Brighton with a lot of work to do. Brighton 0, Chelsea 2.
And a significant result on the way in Scotland into stoppage time at Hibs. Roddy Forsyth.
Yes, the board has just shown that there will be 4 minutes. We've just crossed into that. Hibs looking leggy for the last 10 minutes, but with the prospect of an excellent victory for them. They've picked up in the last few moments, and it's now Celtic, who perhaps drained by their exertions against Red Bull Salzburg on Thursday night, are beginning to look as though this game is going beyond them. It would certainly be a remarkable result for Hibs if it stays this way. Hibernian 2, Celtic 0.
We'll keep an eye on that one. About 3.5 minutes of stoppage time to play as we go to the newsroom. Coming up to 2:20, here's Richard Foster.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Government ministers are rejecting the idea of another referendum on Brexit. Theresa May's de facto deputy, David Lidington, is said to have denied planning for a new public vote after a meeting with some MPs who are pushing for one. Labour's Chuka Umunna is a member of the cross-party People's Vote campaign.
Yes, we know what the will of the people was 2.5 years ago. We don't know what the will of the people is now. Not least 2 million young voters who are going to be affected more than any other group by this, who have so far had no say on this whatsoever. If Parliament is gridlocked and there's no way of resolving the impasse, then how else do you resolve this?
Special prayers have been said in Nottinghamshire, where a third member of the same family has died after a house fire. The 5-year-old boy was rescued yesterday morning, but has now died in hospital. His mum and 8-year-old sister were also killed. Their father's still in hospital with serious injuries. Campaigners say new measures to combat climate change don't go far enough. Negotiators at a major UN conference in Poland finally agreed a deal to bring the 2015 Paris Pact into effect last night. Jennifer Morgan is from Greenpeace.
I think governments of the world have forgotten the most vulnerable countries and people around the world here by not committing to increase the ambition of what they're doing to tackle the climate emergency that we're in. We really needed to see much more leadership here to let people know that they get it and they're ready to go home and do more.
Staff at Chester Zoo say they